They say aging is natural, but no one talks about the slow, quiet habits that make it harder than it needs to be, like waking up and reaching for coffee before water, or skipping breakfast because you don't feel hungry, or assuming that forgetfulness, dry skin, or afternoon fatigue are just part of getting older. They're not. They're signals, subtle, persistent, often ignored, and one of the most overlooked triggers. What you do in the first 10 minutes of your day, that's where the damage or the healing begins. Because after 55, your body doesn't just respond to medication or exercise, it responds to rhythm, to nourishment, to intention. And sometimes the most powerful shift doesn't start in a clinic, but in your kitchen, with something as simple as a spoon that carries garlic and honey, not just flavor but function, not just tradition but evidence. For centuries, this duo has supported immunity, circulation, focus, even digestion. But what really changes, first quietly and deeply, is often something else. Something you only notice when you pause long enough to ask, have I been waking up tired? Because I've been feeding my body wrong from the very first moment. 7 key benefits. 1. Mental clarity. When the fog starts to lift, have you ever found yourself in the middle of a sentence, only to forget the word you were reaching for, or stood in a room wondering why you came in? Most people assume it's just aging, a harmless part of growing older. But what if that fog isn't inevitable? What if it's not about your age, but about how your brain is being nourished each morning? Because the truth is, memory doesn't vanish overnight. It dulls in layers, softened by inflammation, slowed by poor circulation, and buried under years of routine that no longer serve your changing body. For those over 55, it begins so quietly. You reread the same page twice, repeat a story without meaning to, or lose the thread of a conversation that just happened. You notice, but you don't worry, until it becomes harder to follow directions, harder to learn something new, harder to feel present. This isn't simply about forgetting, it's about disconnection. The brain thrives on blood flow and oxygen, yet many seniors unknowingly suffer from sluggish circulation. Garlic, rich in sulfur compounds like allicin, acts like a gentle cleanser, widening blood vessels and improving the delivery of oxygen to the brain. Honey, often dismissed as just sugar, is in fact loaded with antioxidants that protect neural tissue from oxidative stress, the silent enemy of mental clarity. But beyond the science, there's the feeling. That subtle lift after a few mornings of consistency. You read with more focus. You remember where you left the keys. You follow the thread of a memory without struggling. And in that moment, you don't feel younger, you feel more present. And isn't that what matters most now? Not racing time, but remembering who you are in the middle of it. So before you assume it's just normal aging, ask yourself this: what if mental fog isn't a symptom, but a signal? 2. Your heart's quiet relief. Did you know your heart pumps over 100,000 times a day, but you might not notice when it's quietly asking for help? For many people over 55, the signs don't show up in dramatic ways. There's no collapse, no sudden chest pain. Instead, there's a soft heaviness when climbing stairs, a pulse that feels just a little too fast during rest, or the quiet rise of blood pressure with no clear cause. You may brush it off, blame stress, age, or genetics, but your heart is speaking, and it's asking for less resistance, less pressure, less noise. This is where garlic and honey come in, not as miracle cures, but as allies in a body that's trying to age with grace. Garlic contains compounds like allicin that gently widen blood vessels, making it easier for blood to move, for pressure to drop, for tension to ease. That means your heart doesn't have to work overtime just to maintain the basics. Meanwhile, honey, often misunderstood as just sugar, is a natural anti-inflammatory that calms the lining of the arteries, supporting smoother flow and softer rhythm. Together, they don't stimulate the heart, they soften its burden. And in a world where aging often means more pills, more pressure, more monitoring, this small act of morning care becomes an offering. A spoonful that says, "I see you, I hear you, I support you." You may not feel the change like a jolt. You may simply find yourself sleeping better, waking up less tired, breathing easier without knowing why. That's your heart settling, not screaming, just sighing with relief. And maybe, for the first time in years, beating not out of effort, but out of ease. So before we rush into supplements and surgeries, it's worth asking, what if your heart doesn't need more medicine, but more kindness? 3. Immunity, the guard you didn't know was sleeping. You don't have to feel sick to have a weak immune system, and sometimes that's exactly the problem. After 55, the body doesn't sound alarms the way it used to. A cold doesn't come with a bang, it lingers. A scratchy throat turns into fatigue that stretches for days. Cuts heal slower, infections hit deeper, and while many assume this is just normal aging, the truth is more unsettling. Your immune system isn't broken, it's tired. It's underfed, overstimulated, and slowly forgetting how to respond. That's where garlic and honey begin their silent work, not by masking symptoms, but by reawakening what's been dulled over time. Garlic contains powerful sulfur-based compounds, especially allicin, which act like training drills for immune cells. They don't just kill bacteria, they sharpen the body's natural defenses. Think of garlic as a warrior, reminding your immune system how to fight again. Honey, on the other hand, is the nurturer. With its antioxidant and antimicrobial properties, it soothes the internal fire of inflammation, calms overreactive responses, and restores balance where the immune system has gone out of rhythm. But what's most powerful isn't just what these two do, it's how they work together. Garlic alerts, honey heals, one strengthens, one calms. And when taken daily in a small intentional dose, this combination doesn't just boost immunity, it recalibrates it, especially in older adults who no longer bounce back as easily as before. Over time, you might not notice the shift right away, but flu season becomes less frightening. That lingering cough shortens. That sense of vulnerability when someone sneezes nearby starts to fade, and with it comes something deeper. A feeling of being protected, not by chance, not by pills, but by presence. So before you assume your immune system is fine because you haven't been sick in a while, pause and ask, is your body truly resilient or just quietly unprepared? 4. Skin, the body's forgotten messenger. What if the dryness you blame on the weather is actually your liver trying to speak through your skin? By the time we reach our late 50s or 60s, we tend to treat our skin like a cosmetic surface, something to cover, conceal, or hydrate from the outside. But skin is not just an outer layer. It's a messenger, often the first to reveal what's happening inside. That lingering itch in the evening, the patches of redness that return each season, the dullness that no lotion seems to fix, these are not aging issues. They're signals, and often they begin with inflammation, poor detoxification, and a compromised gut-liver axis. This is where the simplicity of garlic and honey becomes unexpectedly powerful. Garlic is a natural purifier. It stimulates liver function and helps clear toxins from the bloodstream that would otherwise manifest as skin irritation or dull tone. Its anti-inflammatory compounds also work beneath the surface, reducing the silent stress that often erupts as eczema, rashes, or sensitivity. Honey, on the other hand, is not just sweet, it's deeply nourishing. Rich in minerals and natural sugars, honey supports cellular hydration from within, enhances collagen activity, and promotes smoother texture, not just on the face, but across the entire body. And unlike topical products that treat symptoms, this combination works from the inside out, aligning circulation, digestion, and immune balance in a way that shows up visibly. In fact, many people begin to notice changes not in their wrinkles, but in how their skin feels, softer, calmer, more alive. And more importantly, they start to feel seen again, not for looking younger, but for looking well. So before you buy another cream or cover another spot, consider this. Is your skin drying out, or is your body asking you to nourish it where the mirror can't reach? 5. Breathing room. When each inhale feels new again. You might not notice how shallow your breathing has become until the day you realize you haven't taken a deep, full breath in weeks. After 55, the lungs begin to whisper what they once shouted. There's no dramatic gasp, no sharp pain, just a gradual tightening, a slight wheeze on a cold morning, or the habit of sighing more often than you used to. You tell yourself it's the weather, maybe the dust, or just age catching up. But what's really happening is that your airways are slowly losing their flexibility, and your breath is no longer reaching the corners of your body where life quietly renews itself. This is where the forgotten power of garlic and honey steps in, not as a quick fix, but as a gentle expansion. Garlic contains natural compounds like allicin, which act as bronchodilators, relaxing the smooth muscles in your airways and helping oxygen travel more freely. It also fights low-grade inflammation that can linger in the lungs without ever turning into a full-blown infection. Honey, meanwhile, does something equally essential. It soothes the throat, calms irritation, and forms a protective coating along your respiratory lining, especially useful for those with chronic coughs or nighttime congestion. But the most profound shift isn't physical, it's emotional. To breathe fully again is to feel unblocked, unburdened. It is the return of rhythm, the quiet joy of drawing air into a body that once felt closed. People often describe it not as curing asthma or fixing lungs, but as a sense of space, an inhale that finally lands. And when that breath deepens, your sleep follows, your speech slows, your presence expands. So if you've caught yourself yawning more just to feel air, or waking up dry and tight in the chest, ask yourself, is your breath getting shorter, or is your life asking for more room to move through you? 6. Gut wisdom, where peace actually begins. We often think of digestion as just about food, but what if your stomach is the reason your thoughts feel scattered, your sleep feels broken, and your mood feels fragile? For many people over 55, digestive issues no longer arrive with dramatic symptoms. Instead, they whisper. A little bloating here, a skipped bowel movement there, that strange heaviness after even the lightest meal. You may not talk about it, but you feel it. And slowly it becomes part of your routine. Avoiding certain foods, loosening your waistband, making peace with discomfort you were never meant to carry. But what if your gut wasn't just trying to digest your meals? It was trying to process your state of being. This is where garlic and honey offer something far deeper than a digestive aid. Garlic acts as a natural prebiotic, feeding the good bacteria in your gut that regulate not only digestion, but also immunity, inflammation, and even emotional balance. It also combats harmful microbes that quietly contribute to gas, bloating, or irregularity. Meanwhile, honey, especially raw and unfiltered, gently coats and soothes the gut lining, reducing irritation, calming acid flare-ups, and helping your system absorb nutrients more effectively. But beyond the physical function, there is a remarkable mind-body truth emerging from modern science. Your gut is deeply connected to your brain. It produces neurotransmitters, influences cortisol levels, and modulates your emotional baseline more than you realize. That means a sluggish gut doesn't just slow your metabolism, it clouds your mind, interrupts your sleep, and dulls your emotional resilience. And when garlic and honey are taken daily with intention, many begin to notice something they can't quite name. Lighter mornings, clearer thoughts, steadier moods, not because life got easier, but because the body stopped working against itself. So before you assume your fatigue, irritability, or forgetfulness are just signs of age, ask yourself, could it be your gut, not your years, that needs the first act of healing? 7. Sustainable energy. No coffee, no crash, no joke. If sleep is supposed to restore you, why do so many people over 55 wake up already needing a nap? The truth is, fatigue at this age doesn't always come from illness. It often comes from imbalance. You go to bed on time, avoid heavy meals, even try deep breathing at night. And yet, the mornings feel dull, your body feels slow, and that second cup of coffee becomes less of a treat and more of a lifeline. But what if your exhaustion isn't a lack of sleep? It's a lack of support. After 55, your energy system runs differently. Your circulation slows, your adrenal glands tire faster, and your cells become less efficient at converting food into fuel. This is where garlic and honey don't just wake you up, they help you stay awake naturally. Garlic improves blood flow, ensuring that oxygen and nutrients actually reach the places where vitality begins. Your brain, your muscles, your heart. Honey, often dismissed as just sugar, offers something far more stable, slow-burning, clean energy, especially when taken on an empty stomach. It helps regulate blood sugar without the spike crash pattern of caffeine or refined snacks. More importantly, honey supports adrenal health, easing the cortisol fluctuations that drain your stamina throughout the day. When combined, this duo works not like a stimulant, but like a quiet fire that holds steady under pressure. People often describe it as subtle at first. Fewer crashes after lunch, less dependence on caffeine, and even enough energy left at the end of the day for a walk, a phone call, a chapter of a book. That's not just physical, it's emotional, because real energy is not about hype, it's about presence. It's the difference between pushing yourself through the day and actually living it. So before you reach for another quick fix, pause and ask, is your body tired, or is it simply waiting to be fueled the right way? Final, sometimes the smallest rituals reveal the deepest truths. A spoonful of garlic and honey is not a cure, it's a conversation between you and your breath, between your heart and your sleep, between the body you've lived in for decades and the one you're still learning to care for. After 55, healing is no longer about chasing results, it's about choosing presence, choosing rhythm, choosing to listen before something breaks. And perhaps in that first quiet week, what truly changes isn't your skin or your energy or even your digestion. It's your relationship with your own well-being. You begin to notice how your mornings unfold. You notice what you reach for, what you avoid, what you postpone. And somewhere in that noticing, something shifts, not loudly, not suddenly, but gently, like a breath you didn't know you'd been holding. So as this video closes and the day continues, pause for a moment and ask, not what else you need to do, but simply this: what in your life has been waiting for you to return to it with care?